On behalf of myself, my family, and my ancestors, I want to publicly apologize to the African American community for our ignorance, our arrogance, our insensitivity to your cause, and for any part we may have had in the atrocities done to your people.
In this video, white people break down in tears, asking for forgiveness from black people. Now, quite recently, there has been a lot of white people asking for forgiveness and acknowledging that their ancestors have done things that are quite cruel and bad against black people. So let's keep watching this video as this apology is being rendered, and also these correction efforts are being made by white people to reconcile with black people. So let's keep watching the video and we'll come back here and discuss further about it. But before we watch the video, if you haven't yet liked this video, kindly like the video and also subscribe to the channel. Let's watch the video together.
Good morning. Thank you for having me this morning. I am the wife of Pastor Les Robinson. Quickly, we've seen America rally behind court cases through the years over intellectual property and real property, oftentimes resulting in millions of dollars in restitution. We rally behind it without the blink of an eye because it's something that has been stolen, and restitution should be made. We cannot forget or ignore the fact that we stole people from their native land. We stripped them from their families, from their culture, and from their birthright. Yet white America has turned a blind eye to this and say they should get over it, or it's been so long and it doesn't affect the African Americans today because it happened so long ago. On behalf of myself, my family, and my ancestors, I want to publicly apologize to the African American community for our ignorance, our arrogance, our insensitivity to your cause, and for any part we may have had in the atrocities done to your people. I stand here today humbly to show my love and support, whether enslaved or freed. We know that many African Americans have had inventions they didn't get credit for and therefore earned no revenue. Land was stolen from many, as in my husband's case. My husband has the deeds to these properties that state this land belongs to my descendants forever and ever. There should be no question of what should be done. His land has been stolen, his generational wealth stolen, the schooling opportunities he should have had stolen, his opportunity to grow up in a safe environment where his family could afford housing stolen. He was forced into poverty, running to and from school, hoping to avoid getting into a fight or even getting shot and killed. This wasn't the legacy his grandfather left him. His rightful inheritance was stripped from him. Where is his restitution? There is no record of the properties ever being sold. If this were a claim about a white man's property being stolen, I'm sure the court case would have been resolved by now. He should have the right to reclaim financial compensation for what was left to him by his great-great-great-grandfather, Daniel Blue.
Thank you so much
so
for
that
the
he may
comments
pass
this
it down
morning.
to his descendants.
I've noticed recently a few posts by white people apologizing for being racist, being discriminatory, being silent, being indifferent, behaving in a white privileged way. And this has been pastors and community leaders and politicians. And it's a tough thing to do, first of all, let me just say, so respect to anybody that does that. But what has bothered me is when I've read through the comments section on these posts. Because the comments section itself is the very thing that the post is apologizing about. Because the comments section is a divide between white and black people. The white people are jumping on these apology posts, reassuring the white person posting the apology how loved they are, how appreciated they are, what a good person they are, how we love you and love your family, we pray for you, how you've been a great leader to my life, all the things you've done in the past to help black people. And black people are putting in the comments section, you hurt us. You excluded us. You didn't see us. You were silent about us. You were white privileged towards us. You deepened our pain. So the comment section becomes itself the very thing that the post was trying to address. And I want to say a couple of things. I want to say, first of all, when we do that in the posts, it becomes about the person that's posting, not about the issue. The post isn't about the person's character or sensitivities or their love and heart for people. It's about the pain they have caused, we have caused, to black people. And I think black people get sick and tired of dancing around white people's sensibilities when it comes to a strong discussion about race, discrimination, white privilege. Black people almost have to wait until the white people can stomach it, until the white people can get beyond their sense of superiority or their sense of immunity or their shame or their guilt before they can really say what they want to say. And the comment section feels like that. And I want to say also to us white people, and especially in the church, it is far more loving often to stay silent than to use your love to anesthetize each other from a pain we must feel. When you love bomb us, when we're apologizing for something we did that deepened the pain of black people and people of color in the world at this time, when you love bomb us away from it, when you try to put us in that love bubble around us by your love and affirmation, it just deepens people's pain. And you must understand, it's far more loving sometimes to not say I love you and to let us feel the pain of what it is we're trying to fix. And these comment sections have been an eye-opener to me that we white people just don't get it. When one of us tries to apologize and do something progressive, if that's what I hope it is, white people jump in and try to fix it and try to sanitize it and try to anesthetize it and dilute it. And we need to stop it. I think also if these posts of apology were not done from a genuine heart of wanting to learn and grow and humble ourselves and listen to what black people are saying to us, if we posted for, political correctness or damage limitation or to appear open and humble and vulnerable, then your ego posted. You didn't post, I didn't post, our white ego posted, and then it'll all just come back again anyway. So, good on you for apologizing, those that do that. It's a tough thing to do. But maybe the white people posting should say, please white people, stay off my feed. Don't jump on here trying to anesthetize me. I want to feel this pain. If I don't feel this pain, nothing's going to change. Because black people have felt this pain for centuries. All right, love and prayers with you all. Let's keep growing and learning, eh? Love you guys. Thank you.
I grew up in apartheid South Africa as a English-speaking white boy. I only became politically conscious when I was already 18 years of age, because prior to that, I had been subjected to and sucked in this incredible propaganda of victimization of the white people, where every piece of news, every message we were getting, every joke, the butt of every joke was the stupidity of the black man, the inability of the black man to look after himself, never mind the country, to be ignorant, uneducated, break everything he touched. The messaging was that all violence was black violence, that all crime was black crime, that you had to fear black people. And a huge amount of that fear was that if we let them into the political process, into the governance of the country, that they would do to us exactly what we had done to them for decades, which would be to turn around and oppress us, to murder us, to take our stuff, to move into our houses. It was a very popular story that the ANC, prior to the '94 election, when it was still an illegal organization and Nelson Mandela was still in jail, and the armed wing was exiled to Zambia and Mozambique, Umkhonto weZizwe, was that they promised all of our domestic servants that those servants would be given the house they worked in when the ANC ruled. And these stories were told amongst the whites to bolster our resolve never to let these black people run our country. And it was only when I became conscious of that from 18 onwards that I realized not only was this a terrible lie that was actually oppressing us as well as the people that we as a white nation, white minority, were oppressing, but that actually what happened subsequently from 1994 onwards was far more of a reflection of the nature of black South Africans than any fears we as white South Africans had been fed and believed, right? And I see direct parallels with what's happening in Palestine and Israel. We've been fed this bullshit of Israel as victim, of the Zionist government as defending, this idea that the entire Arab world wanted to wipe them off the map, when in fact prior to the Nakba, prior to Palestine being given to Israel by the colonial powers, primarily Britain, many Jews lived very happily and harmoniously alongside Muslims and Christians within that region. They weren't oppressed there. They became the oppressor through the Zionist ambition of a few Israelis. White government for many, many years in South Africa needed the violence of Umkhonto weZizwe. They needed the odd bomb to go off. They needed terror attacks because it justified the further repression. And I've told stories about when I was in the South African Defence Force in 1987-88, 88-89. The things that were done by the intelligence service to undermine the ANC and other liberation struggles, and to pit black against black, to distract black people from action against the oppressive minority and the history of oppression. And it's time to step aside from what we've been told and look at the truth, look at the reality, look at the history, educate ourselves, and make a moral judgment.
Welcome back. So quite recently, a lot of white people have been asking for forgiveness from black Americans for the atrocities and the pain that they have put them through over the past centuries. And I think this apology is a step in the right direction, in the sense that whenever you do something that is not right to someone, you need to come to the realization and then apologize for things that you have done. And now, people who are giving this apology are not the direct perpetrators of this atrocity or this crime or cruelty, but some way, somehow, they have benefited from this cruelty or atrocity that has been committed. Now, most of these people who are giving this apology, the crime was perpetrated by their forefathers. So if they are rendering this apology on behalf of their forefathers, I believe this is a step in the right direction. Most especially this woman giving this apology to African Americans for the atrocities that has been caused by their forefathers. Now, I'd like to dwell on the statements of the South African man, white man, who also gave this information. Now, he says that white people are taught to hate black people, and this is very true, but it is very sad that at a tender age or at a very young age, white children are being taught to hate black people. It is very bad. He says that every joke that they listen to as white people were related to the stupidity of the black man, the black man's inability to take care of himself or herself, the black man's narrow-mindedness, and things that are inferior about the black man. Now, they were taught to fear black people. They were taught to hate black people in the sense that they related everything violent, everything that is crime to the black people. They always put up the notion that violence and crime are attributed to black people or are perpetrated by only black people, which is not so. Now he says in the governance and politics of the South African people, white people were afraid to allow black people into governance and politics because they thought that black people would turn their backs on them and then do exactly unto them what they did to their ancestors. So they were afraid to allow black people into the politics and governance of South Africa. Meanwhile, black people do not have any of such intentions. Now, white people are coming to the realization that these atrocities that were perpetrated against black people is not right, and they are now asking for forgiveness. I believe it is time that we forgive white people for these atrocities that they have committed, but also they should make sure that it does not happen again. Let me know what you think about all these in the comment section below. Share your general thoughts and opinions about this video in the comment section below. Also, share this video to your friends on other social media platforms like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok, and other social media platforms. Also, subscribe to the channel. Just click the subscribe button down here. Click on the subscribe button, click as well on the notification bell, and I'd like to see you again in my next video.